Hello again, everybody. Steve Alexander here, Sports Ethos Production Q&A with Dr. A, part of the Fantasy NBA Today podcast with Brewski and Dr. A system, I guess. It's brought to you by the good folks at FanDuel. I love FanDuel. You guys know this. I'm going to read questions and give you answers, hopefully. And I've got a bunch of questions ready to go. So let's do this. Spins wants to know, do I drop Jakob Pertl for Colin Murray Boyles? I don't know how long Pertl's going to be out, but my gut is telling me yes to do that. CMB's been really fun. Pertl's kind of he's effective, but he's boring to me. You may regret it once Pertl comes back, but for now, I think I would lean toward yes, picking up CMB. Bar one wants to know Colin Gillespie or Grayson Allen rest of season. Brewski and I just talked about that for a long time on the previous show we were just doing. So that's worth checking out if you haven't seen that yet. I am on the Colin Gillespie side of that. Seth By wants to know, is AD a hold? What should I do? He's out for at least 6 weeks. He wants to play for a new team and get ready for the playoffs. So he does have incentive to come back. But the problem is, can you wait until March 1st for AD to come back? If you don't have an injured list to put him on, that's going to be tough. I personally, I don't have time for AD and his antics. I would probably drop him. But then again, if you do that and your opponent picks him up and beats you with him in the playoffs, you're going to be pretty upset. So it depends on your situation, really. In general, I would say you want to find a way to hang on to AD. If you have to cut him to survive and make the playoffs, then you do it. You got to do what you got to do. Ball 13 said, is Trae Young a buy low or a stay away? I don't think you want Trae Young on your team this year. I don't think he's going to play very many games at all for the Washington Wizards. I think they got him to use him next year when they think they're going to be better. So I would not mess with Trae Young this year. Simeone wants to know, is Bub Carrington a must add? I think Bub Carrington is a decent add. I added him. I've been using him in DFS on FanDuel. With Trae Young not playing, Bub's gonna run the point. So yeah, I think he's a good pickup right now. Frank wants to know who's going to be more valuable in the head-to-head playoffs after All-Star break, Cam Spencer or Ty Jerome. I think it's gonna. I want it to be Cam Spencer. I think it might be Ty Jerome. Either we're overthinking how good Ty Jerome is, and he's not going to come and ruin Cam Spencer. I don't know. I do not know. I don't know how good Ty Jerome is going to be after how good Cam Spencer has been. Those two should be in a true timeshare. Plus, we need to see what comes back when Trae Young or when John Morant gets traded. So I want it to be Cam. I think it's going to be Ty. Sal82 says rest of season, Harden or Cat. I think I'd take Harden there, but that's a good question, man. I'm going to go Harden. Biddy or Bitey wants to know, should I trade Trae Young for Trae Johnson? Absolutely, yes. Do it. Crypto Nate wants to know, I've been offered Luka for Maxey in an 8-cap roto. Take it or no? 8-cap roto, Luka Maxey. Maxi's been crazy good, man. I think I'd stick with Maxi. I mean, I personally would probably do that just because I love Luca, but I think the numbers might suggest that you stick with Maxi. Goo James wants to know Trey Johnson or Colin Gillespie rest of season. I think it's going to be Gillespie, but it's close, man. I'm really digging Trey Johnson right now. Sim wants to know John Morant or Trey Young. Gross. I think it's John Morant because once he gets traded, he's probably going to play. And I don't know if we're going to see Trey Young for more than 5 or 10 games this year. Beam Team wants to know drop Neesmith for Monk. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Monk just had that big game. They showcasing him for a trade. New team would do him good, etc., etc. Cool Cat 3, I just traded Black. So Anthony Black and LaMelo Ball for Ant-Man, Gillespie, and Keldon Johnson. Did I get a good deal? You turned Anthony Black and LaMelo into Ant and Gillespie and KJ. That seems like a pretty fair trade to me. Yeah, I think that trade is fine. And LaMelo is super shutdown candidate, so I like it. Viper 451. Any thoughts on dropping Tari Eason for Grayson Allen or Trey Johnson? Yeah, do it. Tari Eason's banged up. He's not going to play every day. I actually like Trey Johnson there. That's the move I would do. JB Mods, should I trade SGA and Derek White for Cade and Keontae George? 12-team ESPN head-to-head points league. That's a great question, dude. I don't think you want to trade SGA and Derek White, but I get it because it's a points league and Cade and Keontae score. That's tough. It seems like a pretty fair trade in your league. So you can do it or you cannot do it. That's totally up to you, man. If you I feel like getting rid of SGA could create some bad karma. I don't know. Never change is screwed. I'm locked to make the playoffs. Holding Kyrie and DeJounte, who would you keep if you had to drop one? I think I would drop Kyrie. I feel like DeJounte is coming back first. I don't know. I think I just don't know why Kyrie wants to come back this year. Pete says, Doc, thanks for the show. Should I trade Jaden McDaniels for Grayson Allen? What about Keegan Murray? How would you rank them? Yeah, I would trade both of those guys for Grayson Allen. Although Keegan Murray, I think I would trade Jaden McDaniels for Grayson Allen. Keegan Murray, I would probably hold on to until we see what happens at the trade deadline because things could really open up for him. Saves wants to know Jalen Green, Reed Shepard, Modest Buzelis, Keyshawn George. Please rank them for the rest of the season. I'm going Buzelis number 1 because that's who I am. I'm going Keyshawn George number 2. I'm going Green 3, Reed Shepard 4. And that does it for the questions in my email. Now we got some on the screen for me here. Let's see here. Oh, we got news. Ivica Zubac will not play on Wednesday night versus Washington. Brooke Lopez. Brolo. It's going to be a Brolo kind of night. So pick him up if you want those threes. Put him in your FanDuel lineup. Seb 1421 wants me to rank these guys. Peyton Watson, Zion, Donovan Clingan, and DeAndre Ayton. I'm going to go Peyton Watson 1, Zion 2, 8 and 3, and Klingon 4. Fair and Tall wants to know Santi Aldama or Nemish Keita. Ooh. I'm going to say Santi, but it's really close. Really close. That could go either way. Mario wants to know Shaden Sharp, or Jalen Green. I think I'd go Shaden Sharp with Denny's injury, and we know that he's healthy and playing. I think I would go Shaden Sharp there, but I don't know if that is correct or not. I don't know if that's the right answer. All right, more questions coming. Parker Finley, trade my Trae Young for Miles Turner. Wow. Miles Turner's been a disaster, but he's a disaster that is at least playing in games. Yes, I would do that trade, Parker. James Chan, will you trade Keita Rollins for Sabonis in a 14-team Roto League? Rollins is struggling right now, and Keita is kind of hot, and Sabonis is on his way back. I don't know when Sabonis is coming back. 14-team league. I mean, if you've got the depth to lose two guys, and you've got a need in getting Sabonis, then I'm okay with doing that. Just make sure you don't ruin your depth. Dunder Muffin, what are your thoughts on Dominic Barlow down the stretch? Will Philly give him time, all the games they have coming up, plus being a play with injury management to Paul George and Embiid? Yeah, I don't know if Barlow's going to do anything. You must be in a really deep league there, Dunder Muffin. Is his name Dominic? Why do I think it's Derek? Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Embiid's somehow playing in these games. Paul George is playing. Everybody's kind of trying to win. They're in the playoffs. I would not count on Barlow down the stretch. Sorry that took me so long. Parker again, how would you guys rank Champagny, D'Anthony Melton, Day'Ron Sharpe, and Sadiq Bey? I don't know which Champagny that is. I'm assuming it's Justin. We're kind of on D'Anthony Melton right now, and Shaden Sharp's been great, and Bey is back. So they're all pretty close. If I had to rank them, I'm going to go Bey 1, Sharp 2, Melton 3, and Champagny 4. Matt Carmody, how would you rank B. Williams, that's Brandon, TJ McConnell, and Davion Mitchell in 9-cat head-to-head rest of season? I don't like Mitchell if Tyler Hero's healthy. I don't know if the Pacers are ever going to turn to McConnell or not. That's really frustrating me. And then Brandon Williams is banged up. But Brandon Williams plays and starts. So I'm going to go Brandon Williams first, McConnell second, Davion Mitchell third. Admiral Nita, which buy lows would you target in a trade? Zach LaVine, Miles Turner, RJ Barrett, Jordan Poole, 10-team head-to-head cats. I'm staying away from Miles Turner, and I don't know what RJ Barrett's timetable is. I think I'd go LaVine first and Poole second and Barrett third, Turner fourth. I think Miles Turner's just cooked. He sucks this year. I don't see it getting better. Frank Game Blouses wants to know, I need to stream someone for today. I'm down a few block steals. Jay Huff, Mitchell Robinson, Dayron Sharp are available. I would possibly go Brooke Lopez here with Ivica Zubac out. I don't know if Jay Huff is going to play or not play. It seems like the Pacers give him a bunch of run one game and then not in another. I also like Dayron. So you have lots of options here. Even if Huff doesn't have a big game, he's probably good for a couple blocks. So I'm going to rank these guys. I'm going to go Brolo first, Jay Huff second, Dayron third, Mitchell Robinson fourth. Admiral Nita says, thanks, you're welcome. And James Chan, I just traded Curry, Black, Turner. So Steph Curry, Anthony Black, Miles Turner, and I got Luka and Max Christie in a 14-team roto. Is that good? I don't know, man. I don't know about your depth. I don't know about your team. Christie's hurt, I think, or sick or something. I think he's not playing. Oh no, you gave up a lot. Turner's been bad though. Black and Curry have been very good. So it really comes down to Luka versus Curry and Black, and you're hoping that Luka plays and has a big second half, which he should. So I think it's okay. I don't hate it, but I don't necessarily love it either. Daniel Paisley, do you like geese? It's funny. There's geese and there's goose, and my niece was telling me about geese, and I checked them out. I do like them. But when I first was trying to listen to them, I think I was listening to goose. And she was like, no, you can't listen to goose. It's geese. But yeah, they're I am intrigued by that band. Would you use the number one waiver wire priority on Brow? 10-team, 9-cat head-to-head. So number one waiver wire priority to pick up Anthony Davis after somebody cut him yesterday when it was reported he was out for the year. And then Davis said, no, I'm not. I think I would. I mean, if you're in a head-to-head playoff league and you can add Brow for the playoffs, I think you do it. So yes. Should I sell high on Watson now or just hold on to him the rest of the season from James Chan? I'm holding Peyton Watson. It looks like he turned the corner. He's locked in. I'm sticking with Peyton Watson. What do you think about Filipowski and Ace the rest of the season, man? What a mess. I've got Ace Bailey locked into a 30-team situation, and he's been so disappointing. So I don't have a ton of hope on either one of those guys right now because it's been so bad. I still have visions of Filipowski balling out after the trade deadline. So I have more faith in Filipowski than I do Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey is a borderline hold in like 10 and 12 team leagues right now. All right, Andre, next question. You're welcome, James. All right. I think that does it. Everybody's saying thank you. You're welcome, everybody. I am out of here. I will be here Thursday, which is tomorrow. And then Friday, I'll be here Friday too. Friday I'll be with James, I think. And then I'm going to Miami. I'm going to try to see the Hoosiers. If you have tickets to that game, let me know. I'm with Tim Woodson on Friday. And then I'm going to Miami. I will not be on. We're not doing a show Monday. I'll be on Tuesday. So I'll see you then and before then. But this episode was brought to you by FanDuel Q&A with Dr. A. Thanks for coming out.